A battle for sole possession of first place in the Sika Grey Conference between two very bitter rivals. It's Bolingbrook versus Romeoville, and it's our Channel 15 High School Football Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt, along with Mac McLaughlin. Lee Turnbow is on the field, and we have waited for this one, Mac, and you can just feel it, the brook in the Ville.
It's exciting when you walk through the crowd and hear all the people just talking and murmuring about the hits they're going to see out here tonight.
Okay, let's talk about some of the key players. First of all, for Bolingbrook, Marcus Smith. He is the offense for the Raiders.
What an offense. 6'2", 215 pounds, has 869 yards coming into this game with 11 TDs. He is going to be the guy that has to do it, or the guys who have to be stopped.
Well, and the people that are going to be stopping him on the defensive side of the ball for Romeoville, they've got the hitters to do it.
And Ryan Taylor leads that bunch. Ryan Taylor's just a fine cornerback at 6'2", 190, 4.4 speed. You'll see a lot of action back there.
Hey, and the defense for Bolingbrook, not too shabby as well. They only allow 6 points per game, and you like their inside linebacker.
Well, Eric Garrett, top 100 football players in the nation on some accounts. 6'2", 227. I stood next to him. He's a man. He's a man.
Romeoville lost their first ball game of the season to Thornton. They've won 4 in a row. Bolingbrook, 5 in a row. They are 5-0, and of course, both teams perfect 3-0 in the conference. And for Romeoville offensively, the guy that really has to get things going is the little quarterback, Matt Jeselowski.
The heart and soul of this football team. And the way Matt goes is the way the Romeoville Spartans will go tonight.
All right, that's an overall look. Our field reporter is Lee Turnbow, who'll be bringing us the action down on the field, and Lee has what he believes will be the key to this ball game tonight. Lee?
Thanks, Dave. One of the biggest keys I feel for the whole ball game is how Romeoville's option is going to affect the Bolingbrook's defense. Jeselowski, of course, he's the key, but he's also the easiest guy to stop in the option. All right, Bernowski, Simic, how are you going to stop those people? It's going to be up to the job of the Bolingbrook defense, especially the linebackers, Mcgrew, Smith, Garrett, as you talked about before, because at least 2 of those guys are going to be keen on Jeselowski for the whole night. Dave?
All right, thank you very much, Lee. And again, we're coming to you live from Romeoville High School, and it's time for the national anthem here at Spartan Stadium, and it is a stadium that is really starting to fill up tonight on just a gorgeous, gorgeous evening for football. And what could be better? The top matchup in the area, maybe the top matchup in Northern Illinois, and it's Bolingbrook and Romeoville. And if you for our national anthem. All right, and now it's time to let you know who we believe will be our top jocks tonight. Every ball game here on Channel 15, our Game of the Week coverage. Lee, Mac, and I, we choose the players that we think will shine tonight. And right now, I get first pick tonight. Our overall standings for the season, Mac has got Lee and I by a 3-1 margin. As you can see, I've taken the obvious. I've taken Marcus Smith. Lee, your choice.
Well, you know what? I've taken him from day one, just like I've taken Romeoville. I'm going with Matt Jeselowski tonight.
Okay, and Mac, you're picking a defensive guy there.
I like Eric Garrett. If that's the 3rd best football player, I'll do all right.
All right, we've talked about the emotion in this game. How about the emotion from the coaches? Bill Winke, Phil Acton, these guys have been through this before. Phil Acton is the Silver Fox.
A ball game like this magnitude is always something, gets the old adrenaline flowing, and our kids are excited, and they've got that excitement rubbed off on me, and we're ready to go.
Well, I just think it's time to kick this ball off and let's go. I'm as crazy as the kids are, and enough of this showtime, and let's just get the job done and go.
Here, here, Bill Winke. You've got to believe that one. Let's get this one and go. And, Mac, this has probably been our most highly anticipated matchup that we have had here this season on Channel 15. What are your final thoughts here coming into this one?
Well, I think this game is going to boil down to who can throw the ball. I really do. Both teams have outstanding running attacks. They do not have good passing attacks. And whoever completes the passes will be the team that dominates this game.
Okay, now there's a little bit of a wind here tonight. Let's go down to Lee on the field. Talk about that factor. These two teams don't throw the ball that much, but Lee, the breeze has picked up a little bit, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. As you watch this game tonight on your TVs at home, it's going to be blowing left to right. So that's not going to really be that much factor in the passing game, but the special teams, the kicking game, the punting game, especially in the first quarter, a balanced field position, that could play a major factor.
Now, before the ball game, Bolingbrook was warming up down to the end of the field that Mac and I were at. Those guys were juiced, and they are big, Mac.
Hey, I stood next to Marcus. Let me tell you, those arms he should be dunking the ball in basketball. Thick legs, along with Garrett, they are just big, strong, fine-looking athletes.
You were in the end zone with the Romeoville Spartans, and Lee, you were down there on their side of the field just before this ball game. What's their attitude right now?
They are as fired up as who would think that a Bill Winke team would be. I talked to him before he came on live with his interview, and he had tears in his eyes. He was so fired up. He couldn't even talk to me. And, you know, I like Coach Winke because he's very intense coach, very, you know, for the kids, that type of thing. But, I mean, in a game this big between DeVille and the Brook, you know, emotions, maybe you want to just pull it back a little bit. And Matt can talk about this, being a former, you know, head coach. You know, emotions, you know, play a big part in these ball games, and you don't want to do things that you cannot do, you know, in a ball game such as this.
The first 3 or 4 minutes will be adrenaline. After that, then your ball team has to come down and play hard-knocked football, and that's what this game is. Every year we've seen great hitting, and no matter what Winke says or what Acton says, these guys are for real in this football game.
They are introducing the starting offensive lineup for Romeoville, and we will do the same here for you. The Spartans will get the opening kickoff. You will see they will be working from their right to left. The offensive line for Romeoville, a good one, and it's an experienced one. Ryan Stanich, Tony Martinez, Rondell Hale, and Chris Mooney, along with Andy Knapp, will man that front line. As take a look at some of those horses right now, and if we take a look at the size of that offensive line, it is not a big one. The biggest man on the front is Tony Martinez at 225 pounds, but it's a lineup that has been starting to get that rushing offense in gear. And Mac, you don't necessarily have to be big in the offensive line, but you have to click.
That's why you run the option. All you do is get in somebody's way, and you got Jesłowski back there and Bernowski running the ball. Just find the seam and they'll go.
And the skill players tonight for Romeoville. Now, we will see a lot of different looks from the Spartans here tonight, but we will see Reggie Denard, Ryan Taylor, and Keith Olson. The wide receivers and tight ends. We'll also see Reggie Denard in the backfield, along with Matt Jesłowski, Dan Simic, and Rich Bernowski. And we are right inside that Romeoville huddle. Let's listen in.
And a #1 seed in the playoffs down the road. You understand? Yeah. That's what our goal was. Now, you got to get the job done. Number 2, you got to believe. You understand? Yeah. You must believe. We're going to win. Yeah. Hey, guys, listen, we're not leaving this field until we kick their ass.
And you know what, folks? We're not leaving this field either until the game's over.
That's right. That's right. Some good, clean fun tonight by both teams.
Okay, let's take a look one more time at those Romeoville offensive lineups. That offensive line is Stanich, Martinez, Hale, Mooney, and Knapp. And the backfields, and on the wideout, Denard, Taylor, and Olson. We'll also see Reggie in the backfield with Jesłowski, Simic, and Bernowski. Let's take a look at that Bolingbrook defense as we're still awaiting the Spartans to take the field for their kickoff. Defensively for Bolingbrook, it's a team that has only allowed 6 points per game up front. For Bolingbrook will be Antonio Harris, Adam Myshuk, Grover, and Johnson. They're big linebackers. Lee talked about them in the pregame. This could be the key to the ball game. What a great bunch. Del Angel, Smith, Mcgrew, and the All-Stater Eric Garrett. The secondary, you better watch if you're going over the middle. They'll take some heads off. All right. We are in week number 6. The Bolingbrook Raiders, the 3rd-ranked team in Class 5A. They're intra-district rivals, the Romeoville Spartans, and let's play ball. Balloons fly.
He could go.
And now, Shea Pope. Check that, Ryan Taylor will get into Romeoville Bolingbrook territory. And a flag back at about the 40-yard line. Ryan Taylor returns this one to just about the 42 of Bolingbrook, but a flag sits back in Spartan territory.
Quite surprising to see the ball kicked to Ryan Taylor, one of the leading runners in our area on kickoff return, and it's against the Brook.
So Ryan Taylor breaks this one up to the Bolingbrook 42-yard line. A personal foul call goes against the Raiders. You can take another 15 yards going south, and that is going to put the ball in just outstanding field position for the opening play of this game. This ball will be marked down at the 27-yard line of Bolingbrook.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Jesłowski comes out and just throws that ball downfield to try to find Taylor again, one-on-one coverage.
They will open up. Dan Simic is the tailback. Rich Bernowski is the full. Reggie Denard will be in the slot left. The quarterback is Matt Jesłowski. Olson in motion.
Unbalanced line.
First man through is Bernowski. He will drive forward for a gain of about 4.
And we're talking about different sets. That time he put him in motion when unbalanced, had a man over on an unbalanced means you're taking one man over and really seeing a one-man power move to the left. And that strong formation, and they went to fullback right away, and there we have them stop for a short gain.
Good save, 47.
Second down and about 6. Ball at the Bolingbrook 22. Jeselowski will keep. He's hitting the backfield. Marcus Smith, the first man that got a hand on him to slow him up. A short game for Jez.
A good play by Marcus Smith, but shooting across that line and stopping that play just before Jeselowski made a great fake to his fullback, Gronowski, and then got in there. You see, there he is reaching out, slowing him up so the other kids can come in and bring him down.
Jeselowski will get to the 20-yard line. Third down and 3. In the opening 2 minutes of play here. Ball deep into Bolingbrook territory.
And we said the team that can throw the ball is going to be the guy with the advantage.
Option. Jeselowski hit in the hole. He gets a yard. He will come up short. And the man on the stick, number 44, that's Eric Garrett. He's 6'2", 227 pounds, and he filled the hole right now.
And you said he fills the hole, and he fills 2.5 holes. He's so big with those size 15 shoes of his. Nice play. Again, that's the bread and butter play. Looks like they're going to go for a fourth down. Watch Jeselowski, takes it out of the fullback, and there he is. Big stud, 6'2", 220, to knock him down for no gain. Big play.
Not a good spot there, and not a good spot for Romeoville. Fourth down and 3. Pitch to Simic. Dan Simic has the first down. He spins off and more. Simic will go in. Touchdown, Spartans.
And you might think all the fire departments in Romeoville are out, but that's someone's horn celebrating the first key touchdown you have for the Spartans. In years past, we found out that he who scores first keeps this ball game in regards of what happens at the end. And that was just an outstanding play by Simic to run that ball through some fine linebackers for that touchdown.
Dan Simic's 6th touchdown of the season. And now will be Steve Jobin on to add the extra point. Jobin will drive this one up and no good. So a big miss by Jobin. And this drive, helped out by a penalty on the kickoff, ends up in a 4th down and 3 20-yard touchdown run from Dan Simic. And in a ball game last year that was 7-0 for the entire game, it is now 7-0, 2 minutes and 11 seconds in.
Great run. That time, number 44, Garrett was down. They missed that tackle.
Let's go down to Lee Turnbull in the field. Lee.
Thanks, Dave. Very interesting call there on 4th down by Romeoville. Went with the sweep rather than run the option, and that's a key factor because that tells you that Romeoville thinks that they have to do other things than run the option if they're going to beat Bolingbrook tonight, Dave.
I think they just challenged those linebackers. I think it was the time, it was 4th down. They had to find out, could they run on those linebackers? Good.
Now this crowd has barely settled in. As you can see, some of them on the Romeoville side may not be taking a seat this entire evening. So Romeoville strikes in a hurry, and this is a Romeoville offense that, hey, make no mistake about it, even though Bolingbrook has talked a lot about in terms of the number of points they've scored, Romeoville averaging 28 points per ball game, and they rush for 222 yards per game. So it's a high-powered Romeoville offense, and now will be time for the Raiders to get their hands on the ball, and we'll get an opportunity to see their offense.
Well, they got dangerous kick return men back there also.
Nee Hammond and Marcus Smith. That's Nee Hammond, number 13.
And he can really run. Oh.
Hammond from the 25, and that's it. Offensively for Bolingbrook, here's what you will see. You will see a big offensive line. Heron, Murray, Myshak, Davi, and Rose, they are big. Rose goes 265. Shin Kerr is a big target at 6'5". Nee Hammond, as Max said, can fly. Eric Garrett, an excellent blocking tight end. But how about those skill people? Eric Cawthon is just a sophomore quarterback. Marcus Smith has rushed for 869 yards on the season. He's averaged over 30 carries per game in his last 4 games.
Oh,
he slips on that opening handoff, and no gain for Marcus.
Well, right now, whoever had the lucky shamrock or whatever, you can really see it's playing in Romeoville's hand right now.
And we'll take a look at that Spartan defense. And again, a lot of these guys go both ways. Stanich, Mooney, and Knapp, two-way players. Good backers here. You have Irvin and Poe on the outside. Aston Ossie, he's a good one, he's a young one, he's a sophomore. And then the secondary, Ryan Taylor, the senior, he will hit you too.
Well,
no
again,
gain.
We should see, watch the big splits in the lines that they have to try to get Marcus through those seams.
Pitch Smith. Marcus Smith will fight his way for about 5.
Number 47 gave a good tackle that time. He's going to get a lot of action back there as a defensive secondary. Ryan Taylor came up to stop Marcus just before he started turning his head for a big gain.
Marcus Smith averages 174 yards per game, and that's after a first game this season. He carried one time for 5 yards. He has over 200 yards in 2 games. He's coming off a 297-yard effort last week. He gets it again.
Sweep again.
Left side. And drop for a loss. First man in, number 61. We just mentioned him. Aston Ossie, a 6'2", 205-pound sophomore.
And he just shot the block that time. You can hear from down here when they put a man in motion. Bill Winke just yelling, pitch left, and they just shot right through there to throw him down for a big loss. And right now, Romeoville looks the steady of the ball teams out there. They're doing the plays that they should. And Bolingbrook, again, they're stumbling and making key mistakes.
Time to punt for Bolingbrook. End up getting just 1 yard on that series.
That's going to be a,
Guernsey will get it away. There was no contact made on the ball. This will be a roughing the punter penalty. Not sure who the man was that came in, but he got Guernsey's leg, didn't draw a piece of the ball. Personal foul, it will be a first down.
There is no reason for him not being able to block this play. Now watch this. This is a big brace for the Brook. He comes in, he jumps up, misses completely, comes on his leg, number 57.
That is Jonathan Zembrewski.
Jonathan Zembrewski comes in and just nails the kicker, and that gives the ball back to the Brook. What a big play.
Well, Zembrewski made the cardinal error. I mean, people are taught, and Bill Winke is really hot. I'll tell you why Winke is hot on this one. First of all, he is furious on the near sideline because he thought it was just a running into the kicker, that it wasn't a roughing the kicker call. The difference, 5 yards versus a first down.
Yeah, and that's key. But they're also taught to leave their feet and go in front of that toe also.
Right. But now the Brook out to the 43-yard line.
Oh.
Eric Cawthon, lefty.
Nobody.
He was down there looking for Nee Hammond.
He had Nee Hammond, he had Eric Garrett, and another receiver downfield all by themselves. A play action pass that time, he was wide open, but Cawthon did not sit in the saddle and make that completion. Another flag on the field.
Eric Cawthon on the season has completed 16 of 37 passes for 329 yards. He's only thrown 1 interception. He does have 5 touchdown passes. But this one will go against Romeoville, and check that Bolingbrook, and we will back this one up to the 32-yard line. The 10-yard penalty. Now it becomes first down and 20.
That's Cawthon's on his 38th throw of the year, and this being the 5th ball game. So you see how much they rely on passing. But they've got to complete some short passing and loosen up those linebackers.
Tony Delangel is the fullback. Nee Hammond in the backfield along with Smith, and this is Nee Hammond. Hammond has it clogged up on that left side. And inside, making an undercut tackle, number 20, and that is Eric Mays. He's a cornerback, and he came up hard to defend the run.
Also, Chris Mooney was out there shedding blockers, preventing him from coming in. Oh, good tackle right around the knees. That's how you bring those hard running backs down.
Second down, very long.
Well, we've been waiting for some explosions to happen, and we saw one already. Now it's time for the Brooks to do something. Split backfield.
They send Hammond out on the pattern.
Wide open again.
And this one is intercepted. Mays. Eric Mays to the 40-yard line in Romeoville football. So Eric Mays comes up with a tackle on a run, an interception of a Cawthon pass. That's Cawthon's 2nd interception of the year. And Romeoville in business at their own 43.
Well, that's not their forte. I said they had to throw, but they're throwing nothing but long bombs. You see back here, we'll see a replay, little play action fake, and just tosses the ball up there just for grabs. There are 2 receivers in the same direction with 2 defensive men, so that's an easy one to intercept.
Romeoville leads this one 7-0. 6 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Dan Simic scoring on a 20-yard, 4th down and 3 run. Check that, the extra point was no good, make it a 6-0 ball game. This is Bernowski. He pulls a tackler through and across midfield.
And I'll tell you what, the offensive coordinator's scheme is perfect for this ball game so far. He's running off tackle, challenging the big linebackers, Marcus Smith and Eric Garrett, coming right at him with this off-tackle play. A nice running by Bernowski. Watch him slide and then come to the outside, tuck that ball in, and make that plus yardage that you need on 1st down. When you get 2nd and 2, you're in real good shape.
Ball squarely on midfield. Well, again, we see shifting in the backfield. The one back behind Jezelowski is Bernowski. Wow. He has it, 1st down. Bernowski to the 40. Bernowski with an inside move. Rich Bernowski down to the 25.
Marcus who? If you watch the Romeoville back, they are really fired up. They're running with heart and soul and speed. This is an unbelievable game for them at this point. Watch the initial blocks at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line is coming off, getting a piece of everybody, and then great block that time. And watch the move. Hey, I don't know where his underwear are, but they went on him after that move.
That was Rich Relaford that is picking up the pieces. 25-yard gain for Bernowski, the 5'8 junior. He averages 6 yards a carry. Romeoville at the Bolingbrook 25. Jezelowski hangs on to it. Jezelowski to the outside, driven out of bounds, but not until he gets 10 yards to the 15. And
Bolingbrook has not made the adjustment to the unbalanced line. They're coming off, putting a wing to replace the tight end. They've got four guys on the outside of the center. The Brook has not made adjustment, and Romeoville right now just keep running, hammering right at him. Watch again, great play action fake this time. And we see him all by himself. Nice move again.
It's a nice block out ahead by Ryan Taylor. 1st down from the 15. Again, Olsen to the left, Simic in the slot right. Bernowski, fullback. He runs hard for a 5'8 fullback. He gets 4 tough yards.
Well, right now, the Brook is doing nothing but standing up, and that blue and orange of the Spartans are just taking off and just knocking them off the ball. They're just driving at keyholes, quick openers, getting on the linebackers before they know what's happening, and then he squirms and squeezes another 2 or 3 yards off.
Offensive line of Brian Stanich, Tony Martinez, Rondell Hale, Chris Mooney, and Andy Knapp doing the job here in the first quarter. We have 4 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the first. 6-0 Romeoville. Second down and a long 5.
There he is again.
This is Bernowski, nearly stripped. An excellent tackle by Eric Garrett, and that ball nearly came out.
Well, they've got to do something. If they're going to be the big-time hitters that they're supposed to be in that linebacking core, they've got to make some changes in there and get into that ball and get it loose on the ground. They've got to have turnovers. We watch here, and Garrett, that ball was down on his knees when Garrett's trying to strip him.
Timeout on the field called by the Bolingbrook defense. So the Raiders will use their first timeout of the night. It comes with 3:45 to play in the first quarter. We look at Matt Jezelowski, the 5'10", 175-pound senior quarterback. He engineered that first drive of the game that was finished off by a Dan Simic 20-yard run. Coming to you live from Romeoville High School here on Channel 15.
I like what's happening right now. I think we saw Romeoville first ball game with Thornton, and they were just devastated by the Thornton offense and defense. Winky and his staff have made some adjustments. They looked a lot better. They changed off and did some great things with that offensive set.
Got a timeout in the field. It'll give us a chance to head down to the field and Lee Turnbow.
Thanks, Dave. Walking on both sidelines, very different emotions on both sidelines. Romeoville kids very fired up, very emotional. Over on the Bolingbrook sideline, very businesslike. Now, that's not bad, mind you. Just for their head coaches, Phil Acton, more businesslike. Winky, fire and brimstone.
Is there any element of concern on that far sideline?
Not really, because Phil Acton, he's been through this before. He's had a couple of state championship caliber type of teams, so he's been coaching for over 20 years, so nothing that he sees tonight is going to be anything new for him.
Okay, and this will be time for their defense now. Try to put the clamps on Romeoville. 3rd down and 4. Big play coming up here for the Spartans.
I still think they've got to move those linebackers and shoot 1 or 2 of them to get up in there.
flagged down before anybody can even set. This might be an equipment problem here. They are looking at Tony Martinez, number 53.
Well, if that's a mouthpiece.
Illegal procedure.
Pick the ball up.
Well, then that must have been Rondell Hale. No, actually that is Martinez there. He's wondering, what did I do? Back this up to the 15-yard line. That changes a little bit. Now it becomes a 3rd down and almost 10.
Those tiny things really make a difference in what you're going to do on that football field. Now they made the shift.
That was the adjustment made during the timeout.
They're coming back outside. He's got plenty of room out there.
Reggie Denard. Denard just tripped up, and it's a good thing he was by Rich Rutherford because he had pay dirt written all over it.
Boy, I'll tell you, they got a master plan that's really working tonight. They're just running. That time you see a reverse around the right end and one-hand tackle away from going down to get that 1st down. Another key 4th down. Watch the ball handling of Jesłowski. Fake it to the fullback and give the replay. And there it is. Great block. Nice tackle, but there's some tackling blocking all over the field.
All right, here we go. 4th down, 5. Spartans converted on a 20-yard touchdown run the last time they were faced with a 4th down. This comes from the Bolingbrook 10. Oh, Jesłowski, first pass of the night.
Wide open.
He has it, and we have to wait on the spot of the ball. Rich Bernowski. The ball is spotted at the 5. The measurement will be important. The spot of the ball vital.
Boy, he used the left foot instead of the right foot on that one. Great play action play that time. See a man in the flat and watch where he goes down. Oh, he's over the line. That ball should have been down a little further. That looks like a 1st down mark for me. And see where he's hitting? Boy.
Well, now, of course, now in high school, the roll does not count.
No, but he first hit and then he rolled. If he caught the roll, he's got another 2 or 3 yards.
This measurement is huge. It is either a 1st and goal from the 5 or Bolingbrook will take over.
We've got all the excitement. We still got 2:56 to go in the 1st quarter. 1st down. Wow.
1st down goal. We have, as Max said, just underneath 3 minutes to play. Romeoville has dominated play here in the 1st quarter. They lead it right now, 6-0.
Boy, the key is not to do anything fancy with that football. Just give Jesłowski and Bernowski that ball down there and see if they can pick up 2 or 3 yards on this 1st down.
Lone back behind Jesłowski is Bernowski. From the 5-yard line. Simic motion. Jesłowski, the keeper, and not a great decision as he is wrapped up by number 33, a sophomore defensive end, Antonio Harris.
And that time they shot down. What they did defensively was squeeze down and slant. They got in that hole, let the fullback go through. Jesłowski read it wrong, kept it, and he got thrown for a loss that time. Big play.
2nd down and goal from the 10. Jim Baderis, the offensive coordinator, talks to his senior quarterback.
And Jim is doing an excellent job with his game plan. Right now, the key is Jesłowski. Will he get outside and then you got to play it? Is he going to throw that thing or tuck it in? Same play, gave it back to Bernowski.
Bernowski running hard, picking a hole. Rich Bernowski in for the 10-yard touchdown run.
Boy, they brought their sound effects here. I tell you, our ears are going to be ringing if they score any more touchdowns like that. But that was the same play before, but this time, Jesłowski read it, gave it to Bernowski. Bernowski found the seam again. The linebackers are overrunning him. There he is. No, great block on number 44, Garrett. And then again, Bernowski making great moves to score that touchdown.
Great camera shot by our bucket truck cameraman operator, Cal Coleman. You saw Eric Garrett, number 44, as Max said, just being pushed off the ball by Tony Martinez. And now the Spartans will go for 2. The extra point the first time was missed. It is a 12-0 lead for Romeoville. Jesłowski to throw. Bernowski gets in.
Boy, I tell you what, you're talking about the luck of the Spartans. He was falling down that time and just caught that ball on his back. That's great athleticism also, though.
Well, that's 2 diving catches that actually turned out to be 8 points because it was Bernowski that made the diving reception, nosed the ball over the first down stripe for a 1st and goal, and here he picks up 2 here.
And now Phil Acton becomes worried. The momentum is really getting solid toward the Spartans. Winky's kids will start to relax and really let loose. That means the Spartan or the Brook is tightening up a little bit. They need a big play right now on this kickoff to put them in position to see Marcus Smith run down that field.
Ready to take a look at Phil Acton. His 18th time these 2 teams have met. He has had the upper hand most recently. Bolingbrook has won every single contest here in the 90s. 5-game winning streak for the Raiders. They find themselves on the short end of a 14-0 score, and we are just in the first quarter.
They've been down before in this series in games where the Spartans have come on and scored early, and then all of a sudden later on the Brooks just keep running and running and running and grind it out for 20, 30 points to beat Romeoville in the past year.
These 2 teams are most recently have played Andrew last week. Bolingbrook with the win over Andrew. It was a tight one, a back-and-forth ball game. That final was 34-24 Bolingbrook, and of course you recall 2 weeks ago, Romeoville goes to overtime with Andrew, 41-40. Nee Hammond again will have to pick this one up.
Oh, he fell down.
Nee Hammond makes things happen, but not much yardage results.
Good strategy again on the kickoff. Get that ball bouncing on that hard ground and not have a clean pickup, and then get a few bobbles, and then you can keep him corralled there within the parameters of where you want to keep him.
Nee Hammond is a speedster.
And watch the ball again. It falls, bounce, give him the opportunity to, oh, and he slips again. Nice block by Marcus Smith.
"25-yard line, the spot.
Oh, he dropped the ball.
Loose.
Oh, holy cow. Oh, my goodness.
This game turning around. Aston Ossie, number 61, on the recovery.
And you make things happen by hitting people hard. I think it was his knee may have been down on this, and I think Acton's going nuts over there about it. No, his knee might have been, but he was hit again by, Ryan Taylor, who came in, number 47, and knocked that ball loose.
We still have 11 minutes we have played 11 minutes in the first quarter, and it has been complete and total domination by Romeoville.
Look at this, they're going trips this time. This is about the 4th different formation.
On first down, straight up the middle, Rich Bernowski. Huge hole between right guard and tackle, and Rich Bernowski has himself a first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, those 4 linebackers have been touted, and they are still highly great athletes back there. But I'll tell you, Bernowski is really making them duck and dive in there with his shake and bake moves. Watch him come inside. Great blocking by the guards on that. And they're just coming down, just knocking people off the ball. Well, this is the kind of game that you really like to coach in. Even though you're down 14-0, it's still a great ball game.
11-yard pickup by Bernowski. 1st and 10 from the Bolingbrook 15. Pitch. Simic gets a block left side. Simic.
Oh.
Big contact.
Ball's down.
This ball's free. And this is going the other way. This one will be a fumble recovery for Bolingbrook.
Eric Garrett just laid all the leather you wanted on one side, and then number 20 just came up, and Marcus Smith on the other side, and just knocked the tar out of that ball. It come flying out there. It's a wonder he could stand up after that hit.
The man with the ball was number 51, Bill Young. He's a 5'8", 170-pound senior backup defensive tackle.
Watch this. They're going to the pitch again and getting outside, and here comes the hit. Boom, and coming both sides. Man, that was great hitting. They're right back at it.
They give it to Smith. He is gang tackled down. First hit, Ryan Stanich. And that will close out our first quarter. It is every bit what we thought it would be. It's coming to you live from Romeoville High School, the Battle of Valley View, the battle for the top spot in the Sika Gray. And right now, the Spartans with a 14-0 advantage. And we open up second quarter of play. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Lee Turnbow and Mac McLaughlin. Marcus Smith again with the carry, a short gain. It will be 3rd and long for Romeoville. And Lee, let's talk to you very quickly. You told us in the pregame that the key to this ball game would be the running game of Romeoville, the linebackers of Bolingbrook. No question about who won that battle in the first quarter.
Yes, in the first quarter, especially formation-wise, because I think that Romeoville frustrated Bolingbrook with coming out with the different formations, just like Meg said.
All right, it will be 3rd down and 3 now. Not actually that long to go. Cawthon on the handoff, Smith, and here is a strong run by Smith. He just may have it.
And that demonstrated his power that time of breaking tackles and getting that first down. And he's got to do that. They've got to give the ball. Zembrewski made that tackle to bring him down, but Marcus has got to find the length. Why is he not gaining yard? Well, the linebackers are stepping up real quick. Galloway and those guys went for the Spartans, and the defensive line are out-hitting the Bolingbrook Raiders at this point.
First down for Bolingbrook, other than by penalty, and that will be a loss of 3 yards on the play. Great penetration in the offensive backfield. Bobby Irvin, a junior linebacker, in on the stop.
And that's a strong side linebacker, again, coming back inside, cutting off that angle that Marcus likes to cut back and use that great burst of speed he has, and they're just stopping at the line of scrimmage. He hasn't found the hole yet where he can really generate some speed.
That's a loss of about 3 yards back to the 22.
Split backfield. This looks like a passing down formation. Yes.
It is. Quick 2-step drop. Flags fly.
Face mask.
The completion will go to, well, let's see who Nee Hammond on the opposite side. Well, let's check the flags out.
Might have been an offsides because the flag was thrown real quick. And Kaufman being left-handed, only called motion against Bolingbrook. That's going to hurt again.
They didn't really pick it up there in the replay. You know, and that play was not much yardage-wise positive for Bolingbrook as it was. You see that sign right there? It says, you can't score. If they can't score, they can't win. Well, they've scored twice, 14-0 Romeoville. And again, we remind you, last year, these two teams played, and they were part of the Sika West Conference last year in football, played on this very field last year. It was a 7-0 win for Bolingbrook.
And that was a hard-hitting football game. They were really knocking themselves out on that one. This game right now is being dominated by the Spartans, offensive and defensively, and field position. Boy, I'll tell you, Wink has got his voice going on now.
Shay, counter!
Second down, 18.
Oh, he faked him out that time.
Cawthon has nobody open. An excellent attempt at about the 35-yard line by Nee Hammond, but great coverage in the secondary by Romeoville.
Good fake by Kaufman that time. He had him fooled a little bit, but they were running out of position. It seems like all the Bolingbrook receivers are all in one spot. You see Kaufman making a nice play fake. Got plenty of time on the outside. He's a lefty throwing in there. Had him open, but underthrew it and missed a diving catch.
Cawthon just a sophomore. He has not been forced into many passing situations here in the first 5 games this season. Bolingbrook, of course, a perfect 5-0. And right now, they have been forced into numerous. We played only about 14 minutes tonight. Tony DelAngel is the fullback. He's the up man. Marcus Smith will dot the I. Cawthon again. Looks, keeps, down he goes.
Zembrewski and Mooney that time inside for that tackle to bring him down. And this is not the way they play the football. They haven't won all of their games this year going undefeated with this type of action. He's only got 16 completions coming into this game, so they've really taken Bolingbrook out of their major game plan.
Brandon Guernsey was roughed the last time he punted. Ryan Taylor's back deep.
Oh, he's
nearly another block. Definite pressure, and this one pops out of bounds and in right at midfield. So that's where Romeoville will take over with 9:42 to play in the first half and a 14-0 lead. How close are they coming to blocking these punts? It's just a matter of missing the ball, that's all.
That's all. Zembrewski's there again. He doesn't want to dive. If he goes for the toe, he might knock one down. But I think he's afraid to run into him and get Coach Winky yelling at him again, or yelling at the referees. This is a big series for Bolingbrook. If the Raider or the Brook, whoever, if the team scores this one, it's going to be all over for somebody.
Tight end Olson will set on the right side.
Oh, stop that one right away. be lining up in the zone because as soon as that ball was snapped, that flag was flying.
See if we can take a look here and see if we can look right down and get an idea. I don't know, Mac, unless there's an end.
It may have been
5 yards against Romeoville.
Must have been number 47, Ryan Taylor, way out to our side underneath the camera.
Now first down 15 in their own territory at the 45. Taylor will split out left. Reggie Denard is right. Jeselowski long counts tonight.
Oh.
Bernoski, look at this guy run. 5-yard pickup when he should have been hit and dropped after a gain of 1.
Well, number 44 here, Garrett shot right at him and just left me, found nothing but leaves there because it was nothing but grass he picked up, and Bernoski made a nice shake move. Watch the middle. Watch 44 come flying by your screen. There he is there, and Bernoski just gets stumbles and makes, again, plus yardage on that.
Heck, they'll give him about 6 into Raider territory. Bolingbrook 49.
And those are key 4, 5, 6-yard runs. Ball control and moving the ball down the field.
I see Romeoville in the more familiar eye. Option, this time the pitch. First time we've seen this.
I'll tell you, look out.
Simic to the outside. Dan Simic will turn the corner. He's got the first down.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Brook is really stymied defensively. They don't know where they're coming from. Bernowski inside, Jeselowski on the corner, and now Simic around the end.
Well, you know, Marcus Smith for Bolingbrook rushes for 174 yards a game. He's carried the ball 124 times. On the other side, it's been Jeselowski, Bernowski, and Simic. They all have very similar numbers, averaging between 40 and 70 yards per game, a more balanced attack. And right now, it is certainly Romeoville advantage.
Well, the Brook better stop this because they can't throw the ball. If they're down 17, 18 points, they're going to be in trouble.
From the Bolingbrook 38, flag down. There might have been a little bit of motion that time. Bernowski threw for a couple, but I think this one's coming back about 5 yards.
In preparation for this game, the defenses have really sparked themselves. What's wrong with the Bolingbrook defense? They have not made any adjustments. I don't know if that's being stubborn or they just think they're in the right defense. But right now, Romeoville is doing a good job of attacking.
Down to the field and Lee.
What makes this output for Romeoville very impressive, the 14 points in this drive especially, is that offensive coordinator, Jim Badaris, he has no headphones. They're broken down. The janitors are down here behind the benches fixing the headphones, so he's doing his flying by seat of his pants. He has no help from upstairs, his eye in the sky.
Well, thanks, Lee, because I was wondering why people were flying up and down the ladders next to me here. And
well, maybe he doesn't need them. He looks. Jimmy is doing a heck of a job without those earphones. Whatever information he's got it coming off the top of his head.
Back to the 44-yard line. First down 15. That's where Romeoville was moments ago, and they picked up the first down.
Boy, those linebackers deep. Pull back again.
Bernowski will just run away from a would-be tackler. He was grabbed by Andre Mcgrew, number 32. He's a 5'11", 200-pound junior. And Bernowski, a fellow junior, he only goes 180 pounds, just ran away from Mcgrew.
Well, those linebackers are 4 to 5 yards deep. The offensive guards are getting onto him and locking up, and they're not being able to scrape and get to the ball carrier. And you see Bernowski, he just gets on that corner, and he makes 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. Right now, see, he missed tackle, and then he just keeps him going. He's running downhill at an angle, and no one to stop him.
Let's make that Antonio Harris, the sophomore that he just pulled out of the grass with a tackle. So Bernowski gets the penalty yardage back, +1. 2nd and 9. Jeselowski really runs down that play clock, and now he's going to go deep for Ryan Taylor. Taylor with a little bit of a push-off, no flag. I know on the opposite side, they were looking for Rich Relaford on the coverage. Ryan Taylor, I think, got a little left forearm in there on Relaford.
Yeah, that ball was thrown in a no-man's land area, but he did just a fake to the fullback and throw that fade pass. Remember, Ryan Taylor has 4.4 speed for a kid that's 6'1", and there he is, did push off his left hand. And there's no such thing in high school as an uncatchable football, so that could have been called offensive pass interference for pushing off with a defensive back.
So Romeoville wants to go for the home run. Now they have to have 9 yards for the first down.
We know the linebacker's going to stunt.
Not on this play. Jeselowski waits.
Here comes Garrett.
Looks.
Oh!
Nearly picked off. Intended receiver was Ryan Taylor. Not a great decision. Marcus Smith, number 20, was there. Also, you see Brian Kohler, number 21.
Watch Garrett. He'll come up your screen to the left. He's got a delay stunt. And boy, you're talking about chasing. Jeselowski just gets this ball off. Your big number 44 is in there. Went right through the defensive man's hand.
Romeoville now will shift into punt formation. Reggie Denard is the punter. Nobody back deep for Romeoville, or for Bolingbrook. Denard, a free shot at the corner.
Yeah, he's too good.
Yeah. Well, he's a little pumped up,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. And Winky's pointing toward the corner. I wanted you in the right corner. But I'll tell you what, when you can't blame a kid for all the adrenaline he's got in his body going both ways, he just hammered that ball.
Bolingbrook with 8:24 here in the first half, down by 14. Will get things started from their 20. Time of possession heavily on the Spartan side. Bolingbrook just has not gotten on track offensively.
But Marcus Smith could change it all around in about 11 and a half seconds. That's something it takes and go about 80 yards for a touchdown.
And Smith is being looked at right now, and looks like they may send him off for a play.
He may not have his mouthpiece out. He was looking down on the ground. And he's got to get a clean mouthpiece. You just don't take one from the other player and stick it in your mouth. There's too many moms looking at this game for that to happen. Yep, that's what he didn't have. He didn't have a mouthpiece. And they got him a nice, clean new one.
Marcus Smith considered going to be the best running back in the state. He's 6'2", 215 pounds. He's a senior. He's rushed for nearly 900 yards, and he has been quiet tonight through about a quarter and a half.
Boy, he's lucky to have 9 in this quarter, this half.
Yes.
But they're going to keep running the horse. Oh, man.
Nothing. There's an awful lot of blue jerseys in the middle of this one, Mac.
I thought 40, Bobby Irvin stuck up in there. Somebody's down on his legs. Just everybody. Just give credit to the defensive front of the Spartans. They're just knocking people right off that ball.
Bill Winke said he thought Marcus Smith hit a hole harder than anybody he's seen on the high school level, but he hasn't really gotten the opportunity tonight. Cawthon running the option. Oh, late pitch. This ball's on the ground.
Boy,
Get in there.
Tell you, that reminds you of Jeselowski, only that it was down low, and Big Marcus at 6'2" was hard to get. Almost. Number 20 was right there, right on top of it. Almost got it. Eric Mays.
Well, that is a huge, huge break.
Boy. Watch the late pitch. You see Cawthon gets on there, and he's doing things he normally doesn't do. He's coming down that line, left-hander, and he got grabbed just as he threw the ball.
Raiders need 9 yards for a first down. Cawthon to the air.
Oh, that's got to be pass interference.
And Taylor makes sure the price is paid by Eric Garrett. How about that for a collision after the incompletion? Well, Taylor buries Garrett.
Yeah, he got a little early there. You'll see on the replay, if we get one in there, Cawthon dropped back at a 2-step drop, and Garrett was right in there. You're talking about two big athletes hitting each other. You're right, they just smacked each other. But Ryan was a little early with his tackle.
The offensive interference call. This will give Bolingbrook a first down. This is the second first down of this first half that the Raiders have gotten by way of penalty. Ryan Taylor is a hitter, and last week against Romeoville, he brought out, or make that against Revis, he brought out the big leather. Here's Taylor. Boom. Oh. You want another one? How about this?
Oh.
Again.
That
one
hurt.
more.
That hurt.
Leatherman.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Ryan Taylor.
Send that off to the Big Ten. They'll be looking for guys like that. Uh-oh, here he comes back.
Smith now with the first opportunity in the open field.
Oh, what a stiff arm.
Huge stiff arm. Smith to the 50. Cut back. Marcus Smith is going to be gone.
Holy smokes, no flags. What did I just say? 11 and a half seconds, maybe 12.
68-yard touchdown run from Smith, his 12th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, he proved one thing to me. He is not the fastest tailback that the Brook has ever had. But when you run out there like that, you don't have to be. That's a lot of weight carried, and Marcus did an excellent job of filtering through that line. If you see on our replay, watch him come back. Wait for him. Here he comes. A good block by number 55 to shake someone. Nice stiff arm. And then watch the long strike. Kind of runs out of gas along about the 40.
We see the extra point attempt by Dan Crapo. And Bolingbrook right back in it. 62 yards officially on the touchdown run from Marcus Smith. And we'll get a good look at it one more time from the All-Stater.
And this one Winky didn't want it to happen. Grind it out, but don't hit him with the big play like this. And watch Marcus. Watch the stiff arm. Get out of here. And he just turns it on. Look like he's running out of gas about the 40. And then, but there's nobody chasing him. Where's Ryan Taylor? No one's there.
You know, Shea Poe, number 25, had a shot at him, and it looked like he was just waiting for Smith to make the move rather than getting after him.
Right. And that hurt. We see some of the ball players bending over for the Spartans also.
Last year in this contest, in this very field, it was a scoreless game into the second half. And then it was time for Marcus Smith. He just scored on a 62-yard run moments ago. 1 year ago, he takes this short little pass, and tell me if this looks familiar.
Just a long gating stride he has.
That was the only touchdown of the game. Bolingbrook a 7-0 win. And right now, they've closed the margin to 14-7. We are midway through the first half. Nobody wants to give the other team a chance to return, and we have a chance to return down to the field. Our sideline reporter is Lee Turnbow.
You have to give Bolingbrook coach Phil Acton a lot of credit. Down 14-0, being dominated by Romeoville. They didn't panic. They knew they had the big horse in Smith. Hey, give him the ball. You know he's going to carry it 34, 35 times a ball game, so eventually he's going to break a big one just like he did Brook back in the ball game.
He is a big horse, 6'2", 215.
And then he had to go back on defense. No rest for the weary.
Romeoville from their 38. They've had that 14-point lead chopped in half. Simic trying to stretch the D. Oh, man!
Good night.
Eric Garrett.
Holy smoke. Now that was a hit. 44 just came out of the woods and just chopped the tree down on that one.
Eric Garrett was doing a little bit of talking before the game. He was telling the Romeoville players when they came on the field, come on over here. And this time he says hello to Dan Simic.
He brought it to, oh, what a tackle. That's a highlight feature right there. We're getting some excellent shots. Great camera work.
Oh, and you knew it was going to be this way.
They're getting fired up now. Now's the time for Romeoville to settle down. Hey, come on.
Jezelowski keeps, gets the block from Simic on the outside. Flag down, Jezelowski down near the first down stripe.
That's a holding area right there. And that was a late flag. Uh-oh, he might call him. He's pointing at the Brook on that one.
We have a personal foul going against the Raiders.
And that's a shame. But it was the tight end or tackle was wrapped around one of the defensive player's legs, and he just karate chopped him behind the neck there to get him off of right in front of the referee. You see Baranowski, a great fake action in there, and just locked it, taking it around. But again, those penalties are the ones that keep that ball moving.
Situation in this game? Well, these two teams are battling it out for the top spot in the Sika Gray division. They are 3-0. They're the only undefeated teams at the top of that conference. Bolingbrook 5-0 on the season. They are ranked third in the state in Class 5A, third in the Chicago area by the Chicago Sun-Times. Romeoville lost their opening game of the season to Thornton. That was a blowout, 43-6, and since then they have won 4 straight. They have the 7-point lead here. Into Bolingbrook territory at the Raider 38. Very confident looking offense here tonight for Romeoville. Simic again. Oh! I think he may want to stop trying that side.
I like that. That's number 44 is a ball player. Boy, he comes up to play. Now he's finding that lane as good linebackers do. In the first quarter, he wasn't getting into the lane. Now the lanes are open. He's just driving straight through and making big hits.
Eric Garrett has already been offered a full scholarship by the University of Illinois. Iowa is ready to do the same, and there's a host of schools lined up to have that young man in their linebacking core in the next 4 or 5 years.
Keep him in our state. Another Simeon Rice.
No gain on the play for Simic. They try Bernowski, and now you can start hearing the pads really starting to pop down there.
You're right. This is what high school football is all around. And there are like 5 or 6 real top games throughout the state. And we hear Winky again just screaming at him. Holy smoke. We got to tell him this is not a R-rated program here, so Winky's got to calm down there. But he's excited. We can see the fire and brim in his eyes.
3rd down, 6 from the 34. Big 3rd down here to maintain the momentum. Jeselowski wants it himself. He will be close. Close enough to a go for it, even if he doesn't make it.
Yep.
Hey, remind you, coming up at halftime, a very busy halftime for you here on Channel 15 tonight. We'll be talking to one of the coaches in this game, and we'll have some highlights for you. Highlights from the first half. Got highlights from the 95 football season that we've shown you already here on Channel 15, as well as some of the top ones from last year. And we'll head down to the lead turnboat to close out the halftime. So make sure you stick with us at the half. That's still over 4 minutes away, and what has been literally a highlight play reel being developed here in the first half.
You're mighty right. Now, good, excellent hitting going on. Bolingbrook has really picked up the step down getting to the second quarter. This is a 4-down play, regardless if it's a half-inch or a half-yard.
Looks like it will be a half-inch. There you go, about 6 inches. 4th down and 6. You remember, if you were joining us right at the top of the broadcast, the very first drive, it was 4th down and 3 from the Bolingbrook 20, and that's when Dan Simic wasn't happy with just getting 3 yards and a first down. He took it 20 yards in for the touchdown. Touchdown was later added by Rich Bernowski in a 10-yard run. Marcus Smith's run has made it 14-7. All right, here we go.
Throw the ball. Let's go for it. Play action and get Taylor.
4th down, 6 inches. The ball at the 29 of Bolingbrook. Man on man right here. First down. Rich Bernowski. If you look at him, old number 44 doesn't look like your prototypical fullback at 5'8", 180 pounds. We'll take a break with 4:06 to play in the first half. Romeoville by 7. Taylor and Denard are split out wide to the left. It's been a running game here tonight for the Spartans.
Play action.
First man is Bernowski, and he gets to the 20, a gain of 6. He's a yard short of a first down.
And whoever's got the key to stop the fullback is really not doing his job. Either the tackle or the linebacker to that side, they're so conscious of Jeselowski taking the ball out and going around in that Bernowski is finding open seams where he's getting, again, 6, 7, 8 yards with that tight squeeze run that he does.
Actually, Bernowski will need now 3 yards. Romeoville will need 3 yards for a first down. Bernowski's gain of 6.
There he is again.
Bernowski, first down. They are making it look easy. They are pounding that right offensive side of their offensive line behind Mooney and Knapp.
And they're just waiting until they key on Bernowski and watch Jeselowski take it out and turn that corner. This is really a professional type drive that the Spartans just put on, helped by that big penalty. But this is the key with 2 minutes to go to handle that football like they're doing.
Ball down at the 15-yard line. It's first down from there. 14-7. It's the Romeoville lead. Jeselowski will keep. He will cut it inside, and he will be turned back right now. Number 32, that's Andre Mcgrew, one of the great linebacking crew members for Bolingbrook.
Well, Jeselowski is a slick ball handler. It's a good time to take that thing and roll out and then just pull up and throw the bomb somewhere. It's a good place to, and again, you're in position for the field goal.
They are working this clock down in the first half. Second down 10 from the 15.
Well, that safety's cheating up.
They'll try the left side, opening for Simic. Simic will struggle forward, get about 3.
And they're not going to call a timeout. They're just going to keep that thing going.
Romeoville has taken this ball from the 6:53 mark of this second quarter, and they have had it for 6 minutes on this drive.
It's either Simic with the ball or Baranowski blocking, and that's the exit up. Now they get it. Now they call for the timeout.
Comes with the 46 seconds that you see on the first half clock. And Bill Winke will get things organized here. And again, you know, talk about answering the call, huh, Mac? Marcus Smith breaks it 62 yards, and now all of a sudden you might be caught back on your heels a little bit, so you just pounded up the field and use up half the second quarter.
Well, you've got to give Bill Winke and his staff credit. They have a master plan that the kids are really executing.
Timeout on the field. That gives us a chance to head down to Lee Turnbow.
You're wondering about the late timeout by Bill Winke, because he wanted to call timeout with the minute 15. Offensive coordinator Jim Bandera said, hey, let's run the clock, we're moving the ball. He didn't want to call timeout, and all of a sudden, Coach Winke said, call timeout, call timeout. That's why he got the timeout. He's about that loud, too.
Well, he's got the 51%, yeah. Bill's got 51%, and Jimmy's got the 49, so he got outvoted. But Jimmy doesn't want them to have that ball back. He knows what he's doing there, but Wink wants to save some time in case he's got to use that kicker.
Hey, Lee.
Yes?
I understand you have a top 10 list for us coming up at halftime.
Yes, I do. Stay tuned, because it's some of my best stuff, the top 10 list, the reasons why we love doing Romeoville Bolingbrook football games.
Boy, if they're your top 10, David Letterman better pick these up.
He just might, Mac. I saw them.
And throw them in the garbage.
Oh, no. Okay, 46 seconds left, first half. 3rd and 7, this coming from the Bolingbrook 12. Matt Jeselowski, the quarterback.
Got a shot.
Reggie Denard, the tailback. Reggie Denard will fight. And Reggie Denard will have the first down. It'll be 1st and goal. First carry of the night from Denard.
And they just stuck it to Bolingbrook that time. They just marched right at him with the fullback lead and put Reggie Denard back there, tailback, their big back, and just watch him just come right at you. Straight at those linebackers, and Garrett got blocked out and screened out that time, went to the wrong hole on that stunt.
First down goal from the 4. They go again. Denard. Reggie Denard comes up short. Romeoville will have to take a timeout.
Boy, at 44, here Garrett was right there. He just nailed him. It looked like Denard might slide off and make some yardage, but big number 44 just came out of the woods there. Again, watch this areas again. Just steps up, and he's got to do that time and time again.
A little bit misleading with the markings on this field. Of course, in high school, you'll double with soccer markings. He is at the 2-yard line.
And that's and you know, ball players have a tough time there too, knowing what is. You've seen that in some of the collegiate games where they have the markings all over the field of not going to the proper line.
Timeout call by Romeoville is their second. 16 seconds left in the first half. It's been a methodical march. Started at the 38-yard line, and coincidentally enough, that's where Marcus Smith started on his 62-yard touchdown run going the other way. So you talk about one play, 11 seconds. This is, we'll have to count them up, but a 6-minute drive here covering the same distance.
Well, you don't want to get strung out too far with only 16 seconds to go and not make it.
Simic.
Oh.
Touchdown.
Well, there goes that horn again. I guess they deserve every bit of that. That time they just played smash mouth football. They lined up again in a power set and came right at the strength of Bolingbrook. They took number 44 on, although he needed help, but they just drove him back as we see the ball carrier. Watch this. Coming right at the power of the Bolingbrook defense. And there he is. They just drive him back over that goal line. Oh, what a...
Jobin looking for the extra point, and he pretty much hooks this one into DuPage County. So the extra point attempt is no good. The score, 20-7, Romeoville. And the fans here below us are going crazy for their Spartans, and well, they should. This has been a totally dominated first half by Romeoville.
Remember what Bill Winkie said in the warm-up. We won't repeat all of it. But number 2, he says, you got to believe. You got to believe. Number 1 was, this is the battle for a key situation on the team pick for the state playoff. And number 3, he says, kick their whatever. And right now, they're doing a good job of kicking whatever.
Second touchdown run of the night for Dan Simic, his 7th of the season. And again, we are really seeing great balance from this offensive unit by the Spartans. You weaken them up with Bernowski and hit him with Jeselowski and Simic. Reggie Denard contributes a big 8-yard run down there in the red zone as well.
It's just excellent. It's going to be a great halftime. We've got the Silver Fox Acton going at it and the Gray Ghost Winkie going at it. I mean, these two guys they have masterful plans. They really got to regenerate at halftime.
Don't expect to see any of the speedsters returning this kickoff. Now with 12 seconds left in the half.
Well, you better move Marcus up then.
Just a little chip shot. It takes a couple of seconds off the clock.
Well, that gives them one long play. Give it to Marcus.
You know, you see the crowd in the stands. What you don't see are the people lined around this field on the south end zone.
And Lee, you can't get a hot dog. It's too crowded out. You'll never get there and get back for play-by-play if you go in that hot dog line.
Yeah, he's broken up. There we take a look at the crowd.
Oh. A little ahead of the count, you would say.
And now the people upset a little bit with the clock down at 1 second. Oh. I think they're a little bit over anxious here, down by a couple of touchdowns. Yipes. Hey, what was that snap count? That was number 65, Salvatore Davi. Bolingbrook will take the timeout. Okay, Phil Acton knows everything as far as the bags of tricks goes. Which will he pull out?
Well, I'd go pitch left or right with Marcus Smith and let him run the ball. I mean, he might be strong enough and swift enough, even though they'll be surrounding him, to break tackles and go all the way again. Calton cannot throw the ball with any type of expertise tonight, so you're really shutting down that part of the offense.
Remind you, our game coming up next week. Boy, it's hard to even think about next week the way you got your blood flowing on this one. Next week, though, it will be in the SICA conference. It will be a Blue Division game. We will be over at Lockport. That's where Joliet Township is next week, our game of the week. And we still have a second to play here in the first half.
That's a passing formation. Oh, where are you going?
Trying to go one-on-one with Marcus Smith, and Smith loses that battle. He drops 3 yards on the play, and right there is probably a microcosm of the way this entire first half goes. Let's head down to the field. Jim Medeiros, the offensive coordinator, standing by with Lee.
Thanks, Dave. First quarter formation, flipping the tight end, moving people around, kind of caught Bolingbrook by surprise.
Well, we just tried to do something a little bit different, and you know, basically the kids are getting off the ball and we're blocking people. So hopefully it continues.
Offense seemed to really click very well in the first half. The key, you think?
Well, we're playing good defense other than one play. And if we play good defense, you know, we're going to stay with them. And we'll just keep going at it.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck second half. Back up to you, fellas.
Well, I'll tell you what, defense may account for something, but a 6-minute drive to a touchdown means a lot, too. And, man, no way would I have expected this sort of domination in the first half.
No, I just thought the linebackers just too big and too fast to do a job that they've done 7 yards down the field, 7 minutes down the field. That's a long time of ball control by the Spartans.
We are coming to you live from Romeoville High School. It's halftime. You see the score, somewhat of a surprise. Romeoville, a couple of touchdowns over the Brook. Stay with us. Big halftime coming up. We are live here in our Channel 15 Game of the Week, and we've got a beauty going. Romeoville 20, Bolingbrook 7. Thanks for joining us here tonight, everybody. I'm Dave Bernard, along with Mac McLaughlin and Lee Turnbow. And You know, this game matched up the two leaders in the Sika Gray division. Both teams coming in with 3-0 records. Romeoville with just one loss on the season. That was to Thornton in the opener. Bolingbrook has swept right through their 5 ball games. The Raiders, the higher-ranked team of the two. Well, things got started early in this one. Romeoville took the opening kickoff, and thanks to a penalty, they got the ball down near the 20-yard line. It's 4th down and 3. Dan Simic on 4th and 3 will get the pitch. Simic shakes one tackler, and all of a sudden, just a couple of minutes in, Romeoville has that 7-0 lead. Spartans dominated the first quarter. An interception by Eric Mays started up another drive. Spartans down to the 10-yard line. Then it was the fullback, Rich Bernowski. His turn. He gets a nice hole, makes a nice move. This from 10 yards out. And after the 2-yard conversion pass from Jeselowski to Bernowski, it was 14-0 Romeoville. Then an exchange of turnovers. Fumble recovery by Aston Osey, and that was turned around by a fumble recovery by Bill Young for Bolingbrook. So both couple of drives stymied there. And then Bolingbrook. You just knew Marcus Smith could not be held down for long. He had 9 carries for 9 yards through about 2.25. And then Bolingbrook got the ball down to the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line. Marcus Smith, who has rushed for nearly 900 yards this year. He has 11 touchdowns on the season, 7 yards per carry average. You just know you are not going to hold this guy down for long. He's a senior, he's an all-stater, and he's a guy that can break it at any time. And from the 38-yard line, it was time for Marcus Smith to do his thing. Smith makes it happen on his own. This play clogged up on the right side. Now check this. This is the touchdown run to Dan Simic after a 62-yard run by Marcus Smith. Made it 14-7, and then Simic's touchdown of 2 yards. 12 seconds to go before the end of the half.